Well, Israel did confirm that their target, together with America, was to eliminate Ali Khamenei and the president, Masoud Pezeshkian. If at all America did succeed in eliminating or assassinating the supreme leader, what would have been the ramifications of that? And now that they've not managed to do that, again, the same question, what are the ramifications of that?
So say if they had taken out Ali Khamenei, for instance, to answer the first part of your question, there would be some ramifications in that it would inflame Shia opinion across the Muslim world, particularly during this time of all times. It's the holiest month in the Islamic calendar, the Ramadan period. But that has not happened. But if it were, so that's one part I've answered. The second point is Khamenei is still about, and had he been taken out or is to be taken out, that would create some impact on the regime and its security apparatus. Mind you, last June he did appoint a secret committee to fill his shoes. Would that something were to happen to him in office? Now, those plans, Eric, go back actually to 2015 when a committee, a 3-member secret committee was set up to actually appoint someone should he pass away naturally or if something untoward were to occur. So there are, shall we say, measures in place to replace both Khamenei and those of the upper echelons of the regime. But there is only so much you can replace, and exhaustion will set in at some point. Like they took out so many of the top brass last June, and in the first few hours, barely this day has passed, barely 24 hours have passed, and these 3 new individuals, very notable ones, have been killed, as I pointed out to you. So it just goes to show that it is and will make an impact in rattling the regime, which, granted, so far has stayed put and intact and not cracked. There haven't been any fissures or cracks even at the junior or at the middle ranking levels. But you will have noticed President Trump's declarative this morning in the early hours when he did mention urging the Revolutionary Guards to lay down their arms and that there'll be no retribution against them if they were not to go against their own population and to continue sustaining this regime.
Mr. Wagma, there's a question that I think very many people are wondering right now, since this has developed into an all-out war or an escalation. Why did the United States and Israel carry this attack in a weekend and more so during the day?
Well, one could say that Israel itself is vulnerable, and indeed it is, because tomorrow is the Jewish high holiday of Purim, the festival, which incidentally has Iranian Jewish overtones too. The symbolic aspect of that cannot be denied, if Eric, as you remember from your scriptures. But also the Ramadan factor is there, but be that as it may, the discussions were stalled because Iran was simply procrastinating and had not convinced President Trump, who said, I'm giving them 10 days, 15 days to come across. Even Vice President Vance, until last evening, mentioned that there is nothing to show that the Iranians are serious about these talks as such. It's one thing to say that Israel is bellicose and was, angling for war. I grant you that. You can say, make a case for that. But President Trump hitherto was staying his hand, and he was asking for something tangible from Tehran, which Khamenei and company could not deliver, and which comes back to where I started in my discussion today, that any delivery would have been tantamount to the regime eating humble pie, and that would question its very credibility in the eyes of even its own loyalists at home and the hardliners as to compromise on the nuclear enrichment or on ballistic missiles as such.